Bonks on deck, holding it down for Drew.
ladies and gentlemen, there we go. We got some audio right. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the New York Press Conference to kick off the two-city tour for Ring Magazine's inaugural American event, a never-before-seen evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment. And it's all on Friday, May 2nd, with 3 outstanding fights. Times Square, Manhattan, New York City, New York, USA. The 3 fights: Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barbosa, Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez, and Ryan Garcia takes on Rolly Romero, and it's all brought to you by Ring Magazine, along with SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury City of Wolves, along with Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Bob Arum's Top Rank Boxing, and it's all broadcast live exclusively on DAZN worldwide. Now, at this time, I'd like to introduce our press conference panel. Seated, we have the COO of Ring Magazine, Rick Reno, the chairman of Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, the COO of Top Rank Boxing Incorporated, from the Boxing Hall of Fame, Brad Jacobs, and a 7-time 6th division world champion, Olympic gold medalist, the promoter of Arnold Barbosa, Jose Ramirez, and Ryan Garcia from the International Boxing Hall of Fame, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Get some in. And also part of our promotional team, he's not with us today, but Tom Brown of TGB Promotions. So this time, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the fighters. First, fresh off his split decision victory over Jack Catterall, he still has a perfect professional record. 32 fights, 32 victories. He is the undefeated WBO interim super lightweight world champion. He's going to be facing Teofimo Lopez for the title, Arnold Barbosa Jr. And next, this gentleman will face Devin Haney. His professional record stands at 29 victories, 18 big wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. The former super lightweight world champion, the Jaguar, Jose Carlos Ramirez. And next up, a fan favorite, 16 victories, 13 of those 16 wins by knockout. He'll be facing Ryan Garcia. He's the former interim world champion at the lightweight division and former super lightweight champion of the world, Rolando Rolly Romero. Now a hometown boy from New York, a 2-division world champion, 22 fights, 21 victories, 13 wins by knockout with only 1 defeat. He is the reigning and defending WBO super lightweight world champion, Teofimo, the takeover, Lopez. And next up, also a 2-division world champion with 31 victories, 15 KOs to his credit, from fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, the former undisputed lightweight world champion and the current WBC in recess undefeated super lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney. And finally, one of the most well-known names in the sport, from Victorville, California, USA, his professional record, 24 victories. 20 of those 24 wins by knockout, only 1 defeat, 1 no contest. The former WBC lightweight world champion king, Ryan Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let me turn this over to our host for the press conference, the editor-in-chief from Ring Magazine, Mr. Douglas Fisher.
Thank you very much, Michael. Hello, New York City. I love being here. I'm a native New Yorker. There's something very special about being in New York City. Just returning as the native, but as a member of the media for more than 25 years, there's nothing like covering a prize fight in New York City. And normally it's at Madison Square Garden. In recent years, it's in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. But for this card, it's something very different, something that has never happened before. It's visionary, and some would say it's crazy because they start thinking about the logistics of it. Well, how does that work? Times Square. They're just going to build a ring there, and they're going to block stuff off. And what about the foot traffic and all of that? And they're going to show it on the screens, or how is this going to work? And I would just say, stay tuned. Just watch. It's going to happen. The folks who are putting this together, they're a little bit crazy, but crazy in that good way, in that they think outside the box and they're willing to try new things. And I think that's very important in boxing right now. And I'm beyond pleased. It's more than a pleasure. It's really an honor for the Ring Magazine to be able to present this great event in association with SNK Games. With Ring Magazine and myself, you've got the establishment, you've got the record of boxing, you've got the historical publication of this sport that goes back more than 100 years. And with that recognition among hardcore fans and definitely fans of my generation and Mr. Buffer's generation. But there's potential fans out there that are under the age of 40. And I really think with associating and presenting this event with a game, I'm old, so I want to call it a video game, but Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, I really think that we can grab the attention of a younger generation and putting it in Times Square, I really think we can just grab the attention of people outside of boxing. That's something that's been missing. That's something that we need. It's something that used to happen back in the day when I was a young fan. People who were not fans at all of boxing, they'd just be flipping through the channels and they would see boxing on the nightly news. They would see boxing on free television. They would see boxing, great fighters being interviewed on Good Morning America or whatever the morning talk shows were. So if they didn't think they were boxing fans, they got pulled into it. And I really think that having this fight take place in Times Square, we're going to get casual observers who may not know they're boxing fans. Boxing has a way of pulling people in, and once that bug bites you, you're bit for life. And people here know about this because we're all real fans here, and so you guys know that these are real matchups. Sure, you can argue there's an A side and there's a B side. You could argue, well, there's odds favorites, or there's fighters that the industry of boxing wants to see win. And I think if you follow the sport, you know it's no secret that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney over here, the plan is for these guys to get together for an anticipated rematch in October. And then a further plan is for the winner of that fight to face Teofimo Lopez. We've all talked about it. He's rumored. But if it's one thing running a publication has taught me, being editor of a magazine, in boxing, there are no long-range plans. You got to be loosey-goosey. You got to roll with uncertainty and abrupt changes. And I feel like the opponents of, I won't even call them opponents, the fighter on the opposite side of the ring that are going to be fighting Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, they're not just coming to win. They, in their hearts, they know they're going to win. So it's these type of matchups that really keep us engaged. So without further ado, let's get into these matchups. I'm going to start off with the two-division lineal Ring Magazine champion, Teofimo Lopez. Lopez, I like what you have on there. What inspires this right here? Is this like a Warriors or something, or what? West Side Story?
I think, hey, well, first off, let's say thank you to God. All praise be to Allah.
truthfully, I think that all these things come together, and that's really why we're all here. So we're here to create big fights, and this is what it's all about. You know, I just want to thank everyone that's partaking this, the zone, truthfully the ring as well, me carrying it, and Fatal Fury. Let's get it going. So to that, just balance, man. I'm here to bring and restore balance to this 3D dimension world, and just take over again, like I always do. Times Square takeover.
So Arnold says that you've been avoiding him. He's wanted this fight for a long time, probably since you first stepped up from lightweight to junior welterweight. He's wanted this fight. Why hasn't it happened until now?
Why hasn't it happened till now? I mean, look, just focus on fights, man. Just focus on big fights. I don't think Barbosa is that type, but His Excellency, they asked for the fight. They think that it's a great fight, lucrative fight for this card, and hey, what can I do?
When it was first brought up to you a couple of years ago, when both of you guys were top ranked, were you thinking that he hasn't achieved enough, or he doesn't have a big enough name, or what was the reason?
Look, I think stylistically, he's a strong fighter, strong Mexican fighter. I mean, we've seen those in the past and everything. I just think that I think it's just the way top rank. I mean, Brad Jacobs is here alongside with me. I mean, he could probably give you guys more detail in that form. I don't think that he had that eye.
Before we talk to Brad Jacobs, let's talk.
He's 32. Hold on, wait, but he's 32-0. He just got an interim world title. At 15 fights, I got my first world title. I won at Madison Square Garden, and then became undisputed at 16 fights. And I'm only 27. How old is you?
It's been a long time coming for Arnold Barbosa.
32-0.
Hey, you didn't give a fucking right answer, bro. You still you beat around the bush when they said how come you didn't accept this fight back then.
To be real, I think
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Top Rank, bro, for cutting the umbilical cord off and letting your ass crawl. Finally.
but I never
Saying
say
hey, bro, you want to wolf and talking like you're big and bad, bro, fighting an injured Loma, an injured Jalen, bro, I'm living the yeah, bro. Come on, yeah, great.
I'm Ring Magazine, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm taking that. I'm taking that, right? Trust me, I'm taking that rematch.
You might get your ass bro.
It's my last 2 fights.
I'm gonna be real, I ain't gonna be none of y'all do y'all thing, but I'm the only real ring and WBO world champion in this bitch. I am that. I won that
champ, but we have an undefeated contender here.
Best believe it.
Arnold Barbosa.
I'm the only world champion sitting here right now. Only one.
You ain't no world champion, bro. You're fucking
damn right. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm a universe champion, baby.
I heard my shit. I travel. I heard my shit. Hostile territory, bro. You get your shit given to you in a plate.
I haven't seen it
my shit.
Where they at?
Ain't no one doing it.
Everybody know how.
I'm fighting 3 of the top 5 guys in the 7-1 span. Call me an old school fighter, bro. I'm fighting the 7-1 span, top 3 guys in the division.
Why? Who are you? Let me just hold on. Let's talk about that. All right. You've been fighting. You've been doing nothing but winning. You've been fighting difficult fighters. You're willing to travel to Manchester, England. You wanted this fight years ago. I remember it was after maybe one of his first or second fights at 140 pounds. You climbed up on the ring, and I saw Teo tell Lindy Carm already, "Hey, get this guy out of here."
He said, "Please."
Right. Okay. So, is it better now that the fight is happening on May 2nd than had it happened years prior? Have you grown since that point?
Man, I think Teo was fighting me at the worst time he could fight me. I'm coming off of two victories in like a 5-1 span. The train's hot right now. The train's going. The train's going, and I think that he I'm shocked the world again. I shocked it in Saudi. I shocked it in Manchester. I'm gonna shock it again. New York in his hometown, right? I don't know his hometown, but yeah. I see. I figure you don't have a hometown. You don't shit up over there. You don't have.
Ain't nobody from any borough came at me that way. They love me. They respect me. I respect the fuck out of everybody.
Arnold, like an People
over here, man. Well, for me. Hey, don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. Next second, show up. Show up, man. I'm gonna show up. You'll see a sponsorship deal. That's not a fact.
For people who don't know,
Potassium, baby.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background? I know you come out of a gym in South El Monte, the great Ben Lira. He's one of these gurus of boxing that people in Southern California, boxing people, they know who he is. They know he's a builder of champions going back to the amateur level. I know the people that you're involved with. I see you at the developmental shows, the club shows. There's nothing but respect between you and the fans and the boxing people of Southern California. But for folks from outside of Southern California, what makes you you? What makes you special? Tell us about that hard cloth that you were cut from.
Yeah, man. I grew up in the city of El Monte. Nothing was given to me, man. Everything's been hard work. From club shows, selling tickets, hustling out there, man. Trying to make my name. Nothing was given to me. Nothing was given to me. Everything was earned. You know what I mean? I'm not doing some, funny push-ups and shit on the internet. I'm trying to grind, man. That's what I'm doing. I'm just grinding. I'm a worker, man. I work hard. I think that separates me from everybody else. I think I'm at where I'm at right now because of my hard work. Shout out to my pops, man, who's been my trainer since I was 5 years old. Fighting in smoker fights, because I was, I couldn't fight. I wasn't 8 years old, so I couldn't have a USA license. So I was fighting in his undercard, my pop's undercard. So man, that's the type of person I grew up, man. Grew up tough. You know what I'm saying? I grew up raised by a real man. A real man, that takes care of his family, man. That is not on that goofy shit. You know what I mean? So look, man, May 2nd, I'm a live dog in there, man. He's gonna find out. He's gonna see, just like everyone else says. Oh, he's not another level. I'm not on no level. We're gonna see when I'm raising that Ring Magazine belt, this WBO cup.
I can't wait to see it. You guys, well said. Let's move on to the second matchup here. You want
Come on, bro. Everyone knows that's why, bro. You know why? Because some people don't want to be here, bro. They're here because they have to be here. They don't even want to be here to support you. $30+ million. They're right. They're gonna be here, bro. They're right. They're gonna be here. Don't matter about that. Money talk, bullshit walk. Yeah, bro. You full of bullshit. Hey, bro. But hey, don't worry. Top of I'm gonna get those minimums down for you guys. Don't worry about that. Oh, okay.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Say
Save a lot for May 2nd. Save that shit. Y'all can save that up somewhere else because they ain't gonna work over here, yo. They ain't gonna work over here. I'm not looking. You down there, bro. You got your time every time. You down over there, bro. Yeah. Go ahead. Take a shit. 100%, bro. 100%. 100%. Oh, 100%. All right. 100%, bro. 100%. Real fighters fight. That's it. Real fighters. Real fighters. All right, guys. All right. So
plans being made, but there's plans for May 2nd. Taylor, please. Taylor, let me speak. Taylor, please. We're gonna move on to the next matchup.
No, man.
Devin Haney versus
like I'm a Brooklyn-born Broward kid, so that's what it is. Brooklyn-born Broward kid. Right? Yeah. The city of Miami, right? I rang the bell for the New York Stock Exchange. These are all facts. No, because at the end of it all, y'all wish y'all had it. Y'all don't. I've earned it. Truthfully, earned it. In this ring. And every time they give me a guy that's more competitive like that,
we see you, Ring Magazine.
We see how we do it. We see how we do it.
We see you. All right.
All right. You're handsome, man, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
When I do these things, they get me too. So
yeah. Real. Hey,
and he's looking at me like about time, dude.
All right, guys. All right. It's the takeover. Peace.
All right, Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez. They may not be as chatty as we just saw with Teo and Arnold. But I can tell you from knowing both young men for a very long time, these guys are consummate professionals. These are young men who are about the sport of boxing, who are about dedication, who are about hard work. This is a fascinating matchup. Devin, I'm going to start with you because we haven't seen you since your fight with Ryan Garcia early last year. I just want to ask you why the decision to lay out for the rest of 2024, and why did you choose Jose Ramirez as your comeback opponent?
I mean, first of all, I want to thank Allah, alhamdulillah, for this opportunity. Ramadan Mubarak to our Muslims all around the world. And I took the year off. Like I said, I was going to. I wanted to spend some time with my family. I had a child baby, stuff like that. So I wanted to rest and recover. And I wanted to come back when I felt it was the right time. But when I came back, I wanted to fight the best fighters in the world. I didn't want to just face any regular Joe Blow. I wanted to fight a two-time world champion like Jose Ramirez, and that's why we picked him.
There are folks who say, Devin, that you were exposed, even though you can argue, well, it wasn't an even playing field in that first fight with Ryan Garcia. They can say, well, we've never seen Devin Haney hurt like that. You've never seen him down on the canvas. He looked lost in there at times. Do you feel that there are questions that are being asked of you and that Jose Ramirez is going to ask those questions and you can answer them in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I fought somebody on PEDs, so that's how that fight was. But we move forward, and now it's the world wants to see what Devin Haney is going to show up, and I look to give everybody all those answers May 2nd.
All right, Jose. Last time we saw you, you didn't look like yourself. It definitely wasn't your night, and I know there was some talk in and around the boxing community that, you know what, this guy was a 2012 Olympian. He was a unified champion. He's a hero in his community. He's got a lot of things going on outside of boxing. He could run for public office in this area. You know, people are saying, maybe you hang up the gloves. Can I ask you, were you considering that, and what brings you here to this point right now?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank God, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for blessing me with all those great blessings in my career. Since it started at the age of 8 years old, becoming an Olympian and a unified world champion, becoming a world champion at 25 years old, a unified world champion at 27 years old. And, I think what it was is probably staying at 140 for too long. Once I saw myself, struggling to make weight and, push my body through that pain and grind, I think I was harming myself. I'm a guy with no excuse. I'm a guy who never says no, and I think I did that to myself. But hey, that was a mistake that I did on my part, and it's time for me to grow and move up to the next weight class at 147. So, I know what I could do. What I've been doing in sparring against guys who are world champions as we speak, guys who are talked about as future world champions, and I know what I've done to them in sparring. So I know what I'm capable. And comes May 2nd, I'm gonna go out there and make it a fight, man. Show the best version of Jose Ramirez, a bigger bull than what people have seen me fight in the last couple fights.
You took the next question right out of my mouth. I wondered, had you hit your limit, you hit the ceiling of making 140 pounds. And I've wondered that for a long time. Even when you were champion, I'd see you between fights, I'd be like, what? No way that guy makes junior welterweight. So you're expecting to feel very strong. I'm expecting Devin Haney to be very strong at welterweight too, because I look at him and wonder, how did he boil down to 135, let alone 140? But if he's healthy and at his best, we're talking about a very difficult, classic 1-2 boxing style. How do you get to him? How do you break that style down?
Yeah, man. I've never been too worried about my opposition in my career, man. I'm focusing on myself. I became the best boxer at lightweight in the Americas. Becoming an Olympian. Beating guys with different styles. Different sizes, different skills, different speeds, and I think everyone has underestimated my speed and power. But I'm ready to put together, man. May 2nd, and you thought I was strong at 140. Just watch me at 147.
I'll never underestimate your power or your heart and dedication. And nobody should underestimate your skills. Very good technical boxer. Devin, same question to you. Was it time? Was it overdue to move from 140 pounds to 147? Are you finished with junior welterweight?
Yeah, it was definitely time. My body just was maturing. 140 was hard for me. I was there. I felt good for one fight, but in the second fight, I didn't feel as good. 147 is time.
All right. I can't wait to see this fight. It's a brilliant stylistic matchup. You got the stick and move boxer, beautiful jab against the quintessential pressure fighter who has underrated skill and technique. All right, let's move. I'm not going to call it the main event because this is a true triple header. These are true co-headlining bouts. All three of these matchups could headline major arenas anywhere around the world. So let's move to the main event. Ryan, I'm gonna start with you. Everybody talks about the grudge between you and Devin Haney, but feels like there's a grudge between you and Rolly Romero here. And I seem to remember years ago when you guys were prospects at lightweight. You might have been at junior lightweight at the time, as a matter of fact. There was a lot of talk about sparring session, and there was John going back years ago between you two. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
About 8 years ago. It's a little rough sparring, I guess, but we continue to use that sparring to kind of boost up his career. Credit to his point. But I don't have no bad blood to him. I'm here to do my job and set up that rematch. But I'm not overlooking him at all. I know that he's going to come to fight. It's a big opportunity on the main stage, so I got to be sharp and prepare.
I was interviewed last year, I think it was Ellie Sackback, and he brought up this matchup. And he said, well, who do you like in it? How do you see the fight? And I said to him, whoever lands first has a huge advantage immediately. It's like a lightning bolt left hook and a bomb of a right hand with Rolly Romero. Rolly, let's turn it over to you. That sparring session, it seems like Ryan's saying that you were kind of clout chasing, calling them out back in the day, but I think that's what young fighters do. But you do more than just talk on social media. I know you're a good interview. You move the needle. You got personality, but you're a former junior welterweight champion, and you've done a lot. Even though you didn't have that extensive amateur background like everybody else up here has.
I mean, if I was cloud chasing, he would have had cloud. He didn't have cloud at that moment. Didn't have anything. So, but it's just sparring. We're gonna see in the real fight in the ring on May 2nd, and we're gonna make it a big fight. We're gonna make it one of the biggest fights in U.S. history, and that's for sure.
Rolly, I want to stay with you. The other guys, they've moved up in weight. We're talking about Devin and Jose Ramirez, and they had sort of hit their limit, making 140 pounds. I used to look at Ryan, and I used to look at you, and just wonder, how do these guys make 135 pounds? The fact that this fight is taking place at welterweight, does that suit you? Is that better for you?
I mean, I called this years ago, saying that me and him were gonna fight at welterweight, and this when we were both 35 pounders. So, I mean, I long outgrown 140. I definitely outgrew 135 long ago. When I was 35 pounds, I should have been a 40 pound. When I'm 40 pounds, I should have been 47 pounds. So, I mean, I'm like all muscle.
Does that affect your stamina? Does that affect your punch resistance when you're boiling down to make it an unnatural lightweight?
I mean, it affects everything. I mean, it affects timing, explosive, everything. Anything you got, it really affects you.
Can you talk to us just a little bit about how important this fight is to you? I mean, is this the most important fight of your career, even though there's not a world title on the line for it? You're fighting one of the most popular fighters in the sport right now.
No, we're fighting for WBA. The WBA
Is it
regular.
the full world title?
That's the regular.
Sorry, guys. I just recognized the Ring Magazine title, but you guys are real. You guys are real fighters. You guys are. It's a very good.
Hey, Chucky, I am your champion, by the way. Ring Magazine, I am your champion.
We don't give a fuck what you
Your Excellency, I am your champion.
Bro, we don't give a fuck, bro. I'm tired of hearing this shit. I don't give a fuck.
Baby, you gotta
We
respect
don't run
more
that
shit.
shit. 1600 BCE. I love this shit.
It's boring. You guys are talking so lightly. You guys are talking so lightly, man.
We're gonna run that.
Fuck
Remember that. We're gonna run that.
I like it.
I like, bring it in. Bring it in. Y'all not even something yet. Like, come on. By the way, come on.
You're getting fired up, Ryan. Okay, I'm gonna
Hey,
end this.
nobody talking shit right.
I'm gonna end this session with the question to you. And I spoke to you a little bit, at the hotel. If you understand. And we talked about you going into that first fight with Devin Haney and all the chaos, and you admitted you were not at 100%. There was drinking, there was smoking. You could have been in better shape. And you told me you got that out of the way. You're not drinking and you're not smoking. Do you have a renewed dedication to boxing and a renewed vigor for boxing? Because you're going to be fighting Rolly Romero, but I feel like you got Devin Haney in your sights, and it looks like you've got Teofimo Lopez in your sights.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to be great. I've always wanted to fight the best fighters in the sport. As far as, my problems outside the ring, I've always had those problems. I don't know who else struggles with stuff like that, but That's just something I was struggling with, and I want to just show everybody that you could come back from anything, and I want to show my dedication to sport and just be a true professional. I admit my wrongs, and I don't want anybody to, take my actions of drinking and smoking before the fight and try to, think that's a way to handle yourself as a professional. So I came here to change that. And this is my first fight to get respect back and then prove everybody that it wasn't a fluke and I'm ready to do it.
You inspired us all, right?
I like it. You can always come back. Redemption can be found in the ring and that path to the ring. So I love that, and I love the professionalism. I actually like the laid back. Right? You're a cool guy. You can be a cool guy. You can be a cool guy. All right. So before we send you guys up for the face-offs, just going to get some final remarks from our esteemed guest here. Let's start with Rick Reno, COO of Ring Magazine.
Yeah, I just want to say, we have 3 dangerous fights. Everyone knows that it's the big elephant in the room. If Ryan and Devin win their fights, they will most likely go into a fight in the fall. I know Jose and his team have said Devin's never getting to that fight. I know Rolly and his team have been saying they're never getting to that fight either. The other
No,
side-
I did not say that ever. My bad. They can fight after me. I don't really go for it.
And obviously, Tio is in a real dangerous fight. He's going to be defending WBO title, the Ring Magazine title, against the mandatory challenger Arnold Barbosa. Arnold is arguably on one of the best runs at 140 over the last 12 months. And I know Arnold's told me more than enough that Tio's never getting to any of the future plans that we have in store for him.
Hey, man, just like all the other promoters have plans, we broke them, so we're breaking this one too.
And we could have, staged this event anywhere. We could have put it in any venue in New York, any venue in LA, any venue in Las Vegas, and it would have sold out. We wanted to do something special, something iconic, because we would have put this any other venue, any other location. It would have just been a really big event with 3 great fights. We wanted something that, like 25 years from now, people would look back and say, "Oh my God, you believe they staged that crazy event in the heart of Times Square?" Even for the 6 guys up here, they could tell their kids, their grandkids, decades from now, I fought in Times Square. Not that I fought in the Garden or Barclays or the MGM. They could be the first 6 guys to say, I fought in the heart of Times Square with this collaboration that we're doing with SNK. So we wanted something that would create, when we started doing these Ring Magazine events and putting the stuff together, we didn't want to do the same cookie cutter type of events. No offense to my promotional partners up here, but we wanted something that, like Doug had mentioned, that was out of the box, something that people would think was insane. When we first got this concept on paper, everyone thought it was just, we're just talking. It's never going to happen. How are these guys going to do it? I've seen the concepts, and it's going to blow everyone away. And I look forward to seeing everybody in May. I will turn it back to Doug.
All right. Yeah, there's amazing things to come. There's some people in the boxing world who say, man, there's some big fights being made in boxing right now, and it's great, but it's all going to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And it's like, no, there are going to be some huge events happening this year in America and in the most amazing, just imagination stretching locations. I'm talking about like historical monuments. I'm not going to say where, but just stay tuned because there's some really exciting stuff to come. All right, Eddie Hearn, Chairman of Matchroom Boxing. Would you like to share your thoughts on this card?
Yeah, thanks, Doug. I think it's all been said by these great fighters. You talk about attracting a younger audience to the sport. You've got 3 of the faces of boxing in Ryan and Devin and Tio. We've got 3 great fights. And Rolly, don't forget about Rolly. I'm coming to you, Rolly. I'm about to pick you up. So Arnold Barbosa just come to Manchester to beat Jack Catchy. Jose Ramirez is a tremendous fighter. And this guy, it's the first time I spoke to him. He seems very focused. I think that's a great fight as well. So His Excellency has great plans, and people keep asking the question about where is boxing going? Saudi Arabia, how long will it last? This is turning it up a notch. Because with SNK and Fatal Fury and Ring Magazine, the other thing that you didn't mention is 6 days before, you got 65,000 people at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And Eubank.
That's the first Ring Magazine SNK Games presented event.
And that one, of course, is in front of 65,000 of a huge gate. And when His Excellency said about doing Times Square and shutting it down, the first thing any promoter would say, what about the gate? But there's a method to the madness. It's a vision, and it's raising the profile of the sport so that everybody will tune in to the madness of closing down Times Square. The fights are the fights, and they're tremendous fights, and it's the right demographic to drive that audience. But the fascination with the concept of what he's doing and where he's placing these fights is going to make this a huge, huge draw on the night around the world. And I'm baffled by the plans. I know, you were talking about other plans and locations. I've never seen anything like it. And I think we should all just realise what a good place boxing's in at the moment. And, the famous words of thank you to His Excellency gets bandied around a lot. But really, the vision that he has, and not just him, but you guys at Ring Magazine and the team, you've never seen anything like this. Operationally, this is one of the biggest jobs that's been done in boxing, to close down this area for our sport. And right now, there's never been a hotter time for the sport of boxing. So good luck to all the fighters, and great to be working with Oscar and Brad and all the promoters coming together to just continue to change the face of boxing. And that's what's happening right now. The sport is on fire. And this is going to be another huge event in 7 days. Ben Eubank, Fatal Fury, SNK, Times Square, and of course, don't forget moving into the Canelo event in Riyadh season. What time for boxing? It's only just beginning.
It's good stuff. When young fighters, we have young fighters here. When young fighters are willing to challenge themselves, and when the promoters are willing to work together, nothing beats boxing. Brad Jacobs, you represent Top Rank, and that's the oldest venerable boxing promotional company in the world, really, since the mid-'60s. Obviously, Top Rank has been involved, and you yourself, during your Hall of Fame career, you've witnessed a lot of very interesting boxing events. What are your thoughts on this, card?
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Certainly, like you said, I've been involved in a lot of huge events, but nothing like closing down Times Square. I mean, incredible. It's a testament to the fighters here on the dais. It's a testament to His Excellency and you guys at Ring Magazine. So we're just looking forward to it. The bottom line is Teofimo, not only a great fighter, but he's a showman, and he's going to prove that and steal the show on May 2nd.
I know that's right. It's
Oscar De La Hoya, the founder and chairman of Golden Boy Promotions.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Look, May 2nd will be one for the history books, a full-scale sanctioned professional fight held in the center of Times Square, which will be unprecedented. This event will come to life thanks to Salah Sports, Turkey El-Sheikh. Their vision is unmatched. The sport of boxing will be on the global stage that evening with the bright lights of New York in front and center. This is what American boxing is all about. This is the highest level of boxing, especially at these weight classes. Thank you to Turkey for making the fights that everybody wants to see. This is truly a special one for the ages. And we are proud that Golden Boy Promotions has 3 fighters taking part in this epic event. It speaks to our company's dedication to getting our fighters the best opportunities in the sport. Look, the fight against Teofimo Lopez, and now speaking from a fighter's perspective, okay? I'm not a promoter anymore, I'm a fighter now. The Teofimo Lopez, Arnold Barbosa card, Arnold Barbosa Jr. has been calling for a fight against Teofimo since 2021. Now, following his defeat of Jack Catterall a few weeks ago in the UK, Barbosa finally earned a mandatory shot against Lopez. Barbosa has always been the underdog and has always fought tooth and nail for everything he has. We are extremely proud of him, and now he's facing Teofimo Lopez, who is one of the best lightweights in the world in the division. Both are tremendous warriors, and it's a pick'em fight. The Haney and Ramirez, look, as for the co-main event, what can be said about Devin Haney that the world isn't even already saying? It's like deja vu a year later here in New York City, except he is coming off a loss against Ryan Garcia. We all know that how that fight went from a fighter's perspective. I think that, it's a pick'em fight. I think that this fight here with Ramirez will be an excellent fight. Styles make fights. I think that Devin Haney is a tremendous fighter. He is a tremendous boxer. I believe that it's all about will. It's all about smarts. It's all about how much you want it. And I think Devin Haney is a fighter who is going to come in and give it his all. But he's going to give it his all against a fighter who is an Olympian, a fighter who is an outstanding fighter in Jose Ramirez. So this is going to be one for the ages. Again, I think it's a pick'em fight because both guys really have something to prove. And for Ryan Garcia and Rolly, I mean, what can I say? I think Ryan Garcia is back. I think boxing needs Ryan Garcia. I think boxing without Ryan Garcia is not the same sport. I think him facing Rollies is going to be exciting. It's going to be one of those fights where you just don't want to, you don't want to miss it because look, Rollies throws bombs. He's a fighter that can come and fight. You don't know where those bombs are coming from, but if they land, they can do some damage. And Ryan Garcia, look, he's coming off. It's going to be about a year now. He's hungry. He's hungry to get on top. He's hungry to be world champion.
Nice. Forward. Slow down. Slow it down. Whoa.
Ready to just be on top of the top.
Exactly.
So this fight card up again. Thank you, Turkey, for making boxing great again. Boxing is back, and let's start this way. I'm glad we're working with Eddie Hearn. I'm glad we're working with Top Rank, but let's keep it this way and make the big fights happen. Thank you.
Oscar, Brad, Eddie, thank you for those final remarks. And now we're going to set up for the stare down. So, Ryan, Jose, Arnold, you guys move to this side, and Rolly, Devin, Teo, you move to this side. We'll get you all to the stare down. My name is Doug Fisher, editor of Ring Magazine. Thank you for allowing me to host this special event.
Lay them down. Good. Good. Lay them down, man. Lay them down. Yes, sir.
The only title fight on the card is the fight of the night. There's lineal championship on the line. It's the fight of the night. Hell, you gotta talk to the back, huh? I'm a man. You come here to fucking cameraman. Oh, we yo. Barbosa! Barbosa! There's a... Hey, yo, you gonna beat him, bro. Let's go, man. Green is back. Let's go, Dad. Let's go, Dad.